Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. This is more than just a football rivalry, it is an institution, a religion, a declared war waged upon a 105-meter patch of grass. This is Argentina versus Brazil, on March 26, 2026. These two South American powerhouses will once again face off in a World Cup qualifying match, an encounter that promises to be far more than a mere game. It is a battle for supremacy, a struggle for continental dominance, and a pivotal step on the road to the World Cup. But to understand what lies ahead, one must first understand what has come before. The last time these two giants met in the qualifiers, the football world witnessed an earth-shattering upheaval. That match was a cauldron of verbal warfare, on-field skirmishes, and raw, unbridled emotion boiling over within the stadium. Thus, we will revisit the frenzy of that last clash, closely analyze the passion of the fans, and set the stage for what promises to be the revenge match of the decade. Stay tuned, for this is the story of how a football match transforms into a national obsession. It all began with a single, audacious boast. Ahead of the final qualifying match on March 25, 2025, Brazilian winger Rafinha boldly declared that his team would utterly humiliate Argentina both on and off the pitch. It was akin to lighting a spark next to a powder keg. What followed was a ruthless 90-minute assault. Argentina did not merely win. They utterly humiliated their arch-rivals with a historic 4-1 victory. Yet, the true story, the narrative that defines this rivalry, was not found solely on the scoreboard. It resided in the stands, on the faces of the supporters, and in the volcanic fury of a humiliated nation. Such is the consequence when the boundaries of footballing etiquette are breached. The atmosphere leading up to the March 2025 qualifying match was electric. Argentina, the reigning world champions at the time, were hosting their eternal rivals at the Estadio Monumental in Buenos Aires. For Brazil, the matter was not merely about points, it was a battle for honor. Following their 1-0 defeat to Argentina in November 2023, they were desperate for revenge. The fact that Brazil had failed to defeat their arch-rivals for many years, a reality that had deeply stung the five-time world champions. The stage for a fierce contest was already set. Both teams were plagued by injuries and player absences. Argentina was playing without their talisman, Lionel Messi, while Brazil, too, was missing key players due to suspensions and injuries. Nevertheless, both squads were brimming with world-class talent, with Julian Alvarez and Alexis Mac Allister for Argentina, and Vinicius Jr. and Rafinha for Brazil, all poised to showcase their abilities. However, Rafinha's pre-match comments added fuel to the fire. His vow to beat them badly both on and off the pitch was perceived by Argentine fans as an act of sheer arrogance. It was, in essence, a public challenge. In a rivalry widely regarded as one of the most intense in the sporting world, his words injected a deeply personal and bitter element into the contest. The players heard it, the media fanned the flames, and most importantly, the fans remembered it. Thus, when thousands of supporters flocked to the Monumental Stadium, they had not come merely to watch a match, they had come to deliver a message. The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric, driven not only by the excitement of the game itself but also by a collective determination to make the Brazilian winger eat his words. The stadium was no longer just a playing field, it had transformed into a fortress, with the fans acting as its guardians, ready to create a hostile environment for the opposition from the very moment the opening whistle blew. From the very start of the match, it became abundantly clear that Argentina was playing a completely different game. Galvanized by Rafinha's comments, they played with unbridled aggression and intensity. The match soon devolved into a series of heated, personal confrontations, mirroring the mutual animosity among the supporters present in the stadium. Rafinha even became directly embroiled in a clash with Argentina's veteran defender, Nicolas Otamendi. Then the floodgates opened. This was not merely a victory, it was a complete, systematic demolition of the opposing side. Julian Alvarez scored the opener, followed by goals from Enzo Fernandez and Alexis Mac Allister. They became the first team in history to score 4 goals against Brazil in a World Cup qualifying match, a truly historic achievement. Brazil attempted to claw their way back into the game through Matheus Cunha, but amidst a sea of despair, it served as nothing more than a faint glimmer of hope, with a superb goal from Alexis Mac Allister, followed by Giuliano Simeone's first international goal. The scoreline reached 4-1. extinguishing any remaining hope of a Brazilian comeback. The match was a bitter and violent spectacle. As the scoreline widened, frustration and anger mounted within the Brazilian squad. Even after the final whistle blew, clashes between the two teams persisted. Rafinha was escorted off the pitch following an altercation with Argentina's World Cup winning goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. A heated exchange was also witnessed between midfielder Leandro Paredes and Dibu Martinez, to prevent the situation from deteriorating further. To save his own teammate, Endrick, he had to forcibly drag him away. This entire drama was not merely about the footballing result, it was a psychological victory. Argentina did not simply defeat Brazil, they completely stunned them on the pitch, on the scoreboard, and in every other respect. While the players were clashing on the field, the real battle was unfolding in the stands. The Estadio Monumental transformed into a living, breathing monster of noise and fury. The Argentine supporters, renowned for their passion, had taken Rafinha's pre-match taunts deeply to heart, and their response was deafening, unified, and utterly ruthless. They created a suffocating, hostile atmosphere for every Brazilian player who touched the ball. But the most pivotal moment of this fan frenzy arrived in the second half. As Argentina's dominance became undeniable, a chant began to reverberate throughout the stadium. It was aimed directly at the man who had ignited the fire. Rafinha, in a raw, unashamed display of emotion, thousands of fans sang in unison. This crude chant mocked his pre-match boasting, throwing his own words back at him with unbridled glee. And this was not merely the act of a few isolated fans. It was the voice of the entire stadium. Videos of this moment instantly went viral, highlighting the raw, intimidating power of a united fanbase. It was a psychological weapon, and it struck its target with precision. The chant echoed the very sentiment of the players on the pitch. Talk is cheap. The fans were not merely celebrating the goal, they were reveling in the humiliation of the man who had misused his words. It serves as proof that, in the Superclásico, the fans are not merely spectators, they are the main attraction. As the atmosphere finally settled following the historic 4-1 victory, the reactions from both sides told the whole story, and Rafinha, the man at the very center of it all, he did not speak to the media. His silence, perhaps, spoke louder than any words could have. The Argentine players, on the other hand, had plenty to say. They admitted that Rafinha's comments had served as a powerful source of motivation. Julian Alvarez remarked, "Through our humility and hard work, we played a magnificent game and gave them a real run for their money." Goalkeeper Dibu Martinez was even more vocal, openly criticizing the Brazilians' attitude. "I don't understand players who like to talk before a match. It only works to our advantage. I hope they keep talking about us, because it only fuels the fire within us." For Brazil, this defeat spiraled into a full-blown national crisis. The fallout was immediate and far-reaching. Star player Vinicius Jr. urged the team to re-evaluate everything, acknowledging the squad's internal structural issues. He drew a stark contrast between the two sides, comparing Argentina's cohesion with the struggles of Brazil's developing squad. Pressure mounted on head coach Dorival Jr., questions were raised regarding his record, and rumors of his potential replacement began to circulate. The president of the Brazilian Football Confederation, too, maintained a distance from the media, a clear indication of the gravity of the situation. This was not merely a defeat, it was an identity crisis, a shattering blow that forced a nation, once the proud leader of the footballing world, to stand before a mirror and confront its own vulnerabilities. And so, as we look ahead to March 26, 2026, the memory of that crushing 4-1 defeat still hangs heavy in the air. Every rivalry demands a new chapter, and this one is poised for a powerful sequel. For Brazil, this is not just another qualifying match, it is a quest to reclaim lost glory. This is an opportunity to exorcise the bitter memories of the monumental stadium, to silence the taunting chants that have echoed since that fateful night, and to prove that the balance of power in the footballing world has not shifted forever. Will they devise a new game plan? Will they appoint a new coach? Will Rafinha, Otamendi, and Dibu Martinez, the very players who faced off last time, take the field once again? The personal animosities and simmering tensions carried over from their previous clash are bound to resurface. The entire nation of Brazil will demand a resounding response from their team. They will expect their squad to play with the same intensity and passion displayed by Argentina, fighting for their national crest and restoring their wounded pride. For Argentina, this presents a golden opportunity to deal a final, crushing blow to their rivals. It is a chance to prove that their 4-1 victory was no mere fluke, but rather the new standard they have set. A second consecutive, emphatic victory would cement their status as the undisputed kings of South American football. Can they replicate that same confidence and total dominance on their opponent's home turf? Can they sustain their winning streak? The weight of expectation is immense, yet this team seems to shine even brighter under pressure. This match is about far more than just 3 points. It is a battle for legacy. It is a battle to establish supremacy in the world of football. It is the battle to write the next, unforgettable chapter in the world's greatest rivalry. So history has been written, but the future remains undecided. What is your prediction for March 26th? Will Brazil exact their revenge? Or will Argentina cement their dominance once and for all? It is a debate that captivates the entire nation. And we want to hear your take. Share your predictions in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because when the final whistle blows, we'll be right back here to capture the emotional moments, the wild celebrations, and the deepest depths of despair. You won't want to miss our breakdown of the fans' frenzied reactions in this next chapter of Argentina versus Brazil, from pre-match war of words to on-field scuffles. From historic scorelines to banter echoing across the stadium, the last qualifying match between Argentina and Brazil was an intense blend of emotion, pride, and footballing fervor. It serves as a stark reminder that this rivalry is not merely a game. It is a cultural phenomenon that captivates two nations and the entire world. The lingering aftermath of that 4-1 defeat has set the stage for a revenge match, one that is destined to become a milestone in its own right. As we gear up for the next big showdown, one thing is certain: it will be a thrilling spectacle, featuring heroes, villains, and unforgettable fan reactions. This is the Super Clásico de las Americas. This is what football is all about.